Ideal mesmo para o mundo atual seria fazer o ensino médio junto com o curso técnico, certo? É no Senac que o aluno tem autonomia de verdade, formação cidadã, foco na diversidade, preparação para o Enem, material didático sem taxas e muito mais. Na real, tem tudo que você precisa para se sentir preparado para a vida. Seja para entrar no mundo do trabalho ou te ajudar a decidir o que fazer na faculdade. Quer saber? Senac. Vem comigo! Acesse sp.senac.br/ensino-médio-técnico.
Today on CityCast Denver. From quintessential dives with cheap and stiff drinks to the newest, sleekest cocktail lounges with Instagram-worthy concoctions, Denver has no shortage of great bars. So how do you choose? I called on two experts to get their picks for the best bars in Denver. Today is Monday, November 25th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Westward food editor Molly Martin, hello.
Hello.
And of course, our politics and green chili correspondent is back, Justine Sandoval. Hi.
What's up?
So we're talking bars. Molly, honestly spurred by this great list that you just put out, 100 best bars in Denver, the bars we can't live without. Can I ask how you narrowed it down?
Yeah, I mean, it's a process.
Yeah,
every year.
You've categorized it beautifully.
Yeah, thank you. The categories were new and honestly helped me so much, and I hope it helps everyone else navigate the list. But really, it helped me kind of think through it in a different way because this was my 4th year doing it. So, I inherited the list of 100 bars, and the first year was kind of about making it my own. And then the years after that get more and more challenging because you're like, I love every place on this list, but I also want to work new places in or places we haven't mentioned recently or places that have had cool changes recently or whatever it is. So I kind of keep a running list all year long and then like a month out start to
plug them in,
plug and play. It's like a big puzzle.
I love it. Well, we're going to dig into some of those. Justine, we know you. You're a Denver girl. You know all the spots. Your family also runs an East Side bar, the Tix Club. I'm excited to hear what you bring for us today. Let's just jump in. We created a couple of categories. Let's start with best vibe or best atmosphere. Molly, what have you got?
I mean, that's such a hard one because
I know.
It's like, what vibe do you like?
Well,
like, what's your vibe?
Definitely. Like, what is your vibe?
Yeah.
What feels good to you?
I am like more of a dive bar girly for sure. Yeah. Like, that's my comfort zone. I'm not like on my own time. I'm never going to choose like a upscale cocktail place over a dive bar. But I wanted to give a shout out to one particular group that I think creates a very fun vibes. And it's not dive bars, but they are just super eclectic places that they refer to as the Unholy Trinity. So it's the girls who have the Electric Cure, Honor Farm, and then upstairs Tiki Bar, Hell or High Water. And they're just fun. Like when they first opened Electric Cure, someone left like a Yelp review calling it a satanic place, and they like wrote the Yelp review on the window and like fully embraced that.
I love when they embrace the Yelp review.
Yeah.
It's like the classic is the high dive, shit bar, shit people.
Yep.
And they made it a shirt.
And yeah, they're just irreverent and fun. And the Tiki Bar is like penis stuff all over the place. It's like a gay pirate ship themed Tiki Bar. Like you can't, it's just fun.
It's sort of a modern iteration of the Tiki Bar too, because the Tiki Bar can be a complicated thing when we talk about history, but they took it into this different direction. So the fun nature of it, but made it a little gay. And Honor Farm is spooky.
Honor Farm plays into the history of that building and all the ghost stories around it. And I just think they've been in the industry, the owners, for a long time. And Electric Cure was their first, solo spot. Now they've built upon that, and I just think they're just downright fun places to go, and you can't beat a fun vibe.
Good vibes. Justine, what about you? What is your vibe or atmosphere, and like explain what that is, and then what your pick is?
Yeah, this was the most difficult one for me because it really is like the vibe and what I'm feeling in the moment.
Say the mood, yeah.
Also very much a dive bar girly, hometown girl. So like my first instinct was to go Brothers Bar, but I know I bring up Brothers Bar a lot. It's always on my list. But it's because it's kind of the vibe that I like. It's got it. I'm used to it. It's comfortable. It's dark. You leave smelling like an onion ring.
Yep.
But I did not pick Brothers Bar. I actually went with one that I have been enjoying a lot lately, and that's actually Marigold. which is
I
right
have
on.
yet to go there, and I'll explain why later. But tell me about Marigold.
Yeah, I really like Marigold. It's a unique concept there. It's in the Five Points, and it's a plant shop combined with like this real botanical vibe. And most of their cocktails, I think maybe all of them, are gin based, which I like because that's, goes with that botanical theme. And I'm not always a big gin drinker, but if I'm drinking like a really cute,
It's nice,
earthy
fancy,
cocktail.
special. Yeah.
You love some gin.
Yeah.
And so I really like it. And I think that because also, it's in my area too. It's kind of this community hub, and there's a mix between the locals and then maybe people who are coming downtown to venture to a show at Cervantes or check out the area. But I really like it. I really like the theme. They also have this great back patio and an upstairs patio. So it's like you don't even realize that there's these other areas in the place.
So there's a little room to
Yeah.
wander.
And the cocktails look great. So you kind of get the fancy vibe, but you get the dive bar like community feel.
Community thing is interesting and so crucial and only comes with the community's cosign. And that's what I've really heard about this bar. And it reminds me a little bit of how Cold Crush was and how Fort Greene operates. Like Fort Greene, I think it could have been something not great for the community. It turned out to be incredible for the community because the community felt welcome to make it their own and be a part of the new sort of things happening in that area. And they managed to just do it. And this sounds a lot like the Fort Greene effect.
Totally. Very much the same vibes.
Yeah, I love it. Well, the reason I've never been to Marigold is because I always get stuck at Spangalang, which I love. And this is my pick. I don't even like breweries, and I love this place. It's dark. It's essentially a jazz club. They figured it out. It's got beautiful artwork on the walls. I'm so bummed I don't know the artists, but there are these great sort of I don't know how to explain it, but they're paintings of sections of Five Points. And so you're like really in the neighborhood, and it gives you this feeling of sort of what used to be, but what still exists. And that's what I love about Spangalang. It's a jazz club essentially. So if that's what you're looking for, this place is perfect. I always get excellent service there. And I just find myself, I'm in there and then I never leave. So that's why I never make it across to Marigold. But love Spangalang. Again, the only brewery I think next to like Ratio that I feel like has a vibe. And they've just done it really well at Spangalang. Okay. Most attractive bar or most Instagrammable drinks. So this can be the drink, like drinks they make themselves, or the space itself for its photogenic qualities. Molly, what have you got?
So I went with another 5 Points spot, actually. Welton Room, and then they expanded and added Monkey Bar at Welton Room.
Where is this? I haven't heard of this.
I don't know the cross street.
Okay.
I'm so bad at it.
No,
But it's
no,
on
it's okay.
Welton.
Okay. Love it.
5 Points. But they just do really creative stuff with cocktails, and they've really leaned into like being this like espresso martini place. I personally am not on the espresso martini train, but I can appreciate the creativity they're showing with it. And I know how popular that drink is, but they've
Are
got...
you an espresso person, Justine?
Occasionally. I also have anxiety, so I don't like to mix my
a little.
alcohol.
I'm not a
with
coffee.
it.
I don't even drink coffee, so I really
yeah, definitely.
then
I'm a
yeah.
martini girl, but
Yeah, just
Okay,
give
leave
me
the
the glass of
espresso out.
vodka. or
Yeah.
gin. I don't need
But
this.
like they're just, when I see, like literally when I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see one of their cocktails, I always stop and I'm like, ooh, what's going on there? Their garnish game is super on point. They've got like cotton candy on drinks and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I
so
love that.
yeah, I think their team is just super
Welton
creative. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard of that. Awesome. Justine, Instagrammable bar and or drinks.
Okay, I kept it super classic here, and I had to pick Adrift. I mean, I think that usually
They've
it's top of
established
list.
themselves. Yeah.
But yeah, they've been around a long time now, and I've got to give it to them. They just really nail it. The drinks are super unique and tropical, and the glassware, it's just as cool and eye-catching as the drink you get. And I usually take pictures of my drinks, but not as much as I used to. So that is one place I always go where I still have to whip out the camera and take a picture of it before. But even when you walk in, you kind of transport it into like this island vibe. And it's like the two tikis out front, and you walk in, and it's just a really cool vibe every time. It's a place you can go have drinks with friends after work and hang out, or a great place to take a date. The only thing that's kind of a negative is you do get a time time limit usually because it is
'cause it's
so popular.
Sure.
And I like to hang out and vibe and drink lots of pretty cocktails. But it's a perfect place to go.
And it's the start of the night.
Yeah, start of the night. Get a great cocktail tasting and looking, have some really cool island vibes, transport you out of Broadway for a moment. And then when you're done, you can go drink for a lot cheaper at many other bars down Broadway.
Get your drink, take your pictures. It's also like got a little bit of a not refined, but it's the tiki theme again, but it just has this take on it that feels, I don't know, like a little classier.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't want to talk down other tiki bars, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was going to say too, like Marigold, they also have kind of like a hidden patio that you wouldn't know from the outside.
Yes.
So it's
And
a
that's
nice
like
bonus.
the best discovery when you're like, oh my God, a hidden patio, and it has its own vibe. I love that. I mean, I kind of went back and forth here. I'd been to the DeLorean recently.
Yeah.
And they are one of those places that does like the bubble over the drink with the smoke. And a friend of mine got it while we were there. And I was like, this will never not impress me. And it looks beautiful in there because it's dark. It has this, they figured out the arcade feel, but it's like, you're not at an arcade that's like next to in a Pizza Hut or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a little bit classier, but also what I love about the DeLorean is they figure it's the 80s, but it's not the 80s that we've been sold as the 80s now. It's people from the 80s who were like, they're playing Smith's videos, they're playing New Order videos on the wall. The Pac-Man sign is beautiful. Like they've really nailed it. But my actual choice I have taken beautiful pictures at the DeLorean, to be fair. But my choice was the Champagne Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot get over how gorgeous this bar is. It's got the Tom's Diner feel still. It's got the Tom's Starlight iteration, and then its own. It's even a little bit more campy. I think campy, it's subtle camp to me. And every time I'm in there, I want to take a picture of every single corner, all the foliage, the dark wood, the beautiful. The bar is an old diner counter. You can't beat it. It has this beautiful, just like never ending quality to it. And I'm just impressed that this place is just showing out on Colfax and just reminding us that this place is glitzy and glamorous as much as it's grimy. Love both sides of Colfax for that reason, but it's a beautiful place. Okay, our last one. This is sort of like your choice, best bar that checks all the boxes. And those are your boxes. And I think we've talked about how vibe and things are really particular, but Molly, what are your boxes and what bar checks those?
Yeah, I mean, as we've already said, dives are my thing, but I don't think you necessarily have to be decades old to qualify as a dive. I think you can build a new dive bar. I used to have this argument, and I used to actually be on the other side of it, but there is a bar that I think proves the point that you can create that kind of neighborhood thing if you're intentional about it when you start. And that is my favorite bar, and where I just celebrated my birthday on the patio with a epic session of drinking. And it's Trash Hawk on South Broadway.
Trash Hawk.
I can't get enough of Trash Hawk. I will
I've
talk
never
it up
been
to
in.
anyone I can.
Tell me what it's like. What about it is your thing?
It's owned by a woman, Erin, who spent her part of her college years in Chicago. So she moved back to Denver. She's from Denver originally, and really wanted to bring those kind of like well-worn neighborhood Chicago bar vibes to a place of her own. So she took what was a brewery, she transformed it, she filled the walls with like stuff she found in her grandma's attic, and like just all kinds of like random Denver memorabilia and just random stuff, and opened it to the world, and people have just embraced it as their own. So like now they're like people bring her knickknacks, and the walls are just getting fuller and fuller every time, and there's like the pool table area in the back, and there's a weird mannequin that's always dressed differently, and there's a chalk wall that everyone's always writing messages to each other, and there's a big patio where you can hang out, and it feels like you're hanging out in your backyard.
It doesn't feel curated. It feels like
it's very organic.
Just a lived-in bar.
Yeah, like people have just embraced it and want it to be, and they are doing fun activities all the time for people, and not cheesy ones. Like they'll have like a cribbage tournament because people like wanted to do it. They had a guy come with like actual hawks and hang out on the back patio. I went and saw alpacas there one day.
No way.
There's just kind of always something. She's also always got like great food trucks in rotation. So that's a really awesome bonus. It's just, it's a lovely place.
You make an excellent
And they don't
point.
they literally do not make cocktails. It's mixed drinks.
That's a great distinction. This is not upscale cocktails. We don't
No.
have anybody with a mustache and an apron. This
No,
is like,
don't go there and try to order a Negroni or an old fashioned. They will not.
But I love the point you make that dive bars don't have to be decades old. And I would just say that they had to start somewhere. So maybe Trash Hawk is that bar now and could be that bar in 40 years. We don't know.
And if I can just give like a little bonus shout out to the other bar that I actually probably frequent the most because it's at the end of my block, but Middleman, where I can always get a very solid old fashioned. Even I think they're $6, $7, $8 now on happy hour. And you've got Bo Perico over there doing the food again, so you can get his burger and other very creative eats while I'm having my cheap old fashioned.
But another place that figured out Colfax when they came into Colfax and became a part of Colfax already. I think Middleman's done a great job with that.
It's those places that just you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, that's more important to me than anything
what
else.
What makes you feel comfortable? Yeah, totally. Justine, what are the boxes that you need to have checked and what is that bar?
So my boxes are, I like a neighborhood bar with familiar faces. I like a big bar, like a long bar, so there's lots of service. People aren't crowded or cramped in, so I enjoy a big bar. And I like regular drinks, just, a beer and a shot, a vodka soda, regular ass drinks. And I like a food option to soak it all up at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So for those
some nice bar food. Okay.
Something, and it doesn't have to be like a whole rush, just, a good staple, something that you can get at the end of the night to eat. And that is why I chose 715 Club. Also Welton, across the street from Marigold.
It's a great set of bars right there.
Yeah. And I'm a person who grew up in a neighborhood bar. So I like that at the end of the day. That's really what I like, a neighborhood bar. And the history of 715 Club is a long one on Welton. It's been a bar there for a very long time. And now it's been it's like, I love it because it's not been revitalized into like this swanky new bar. It's still like very much the bar that it's always been. And I feel like it's a place for like my generation kind of to have another gathering spot in the community.
For your neighborhood bar.
Yeah, totally. To be my neighborhood bar. I love that there's this outdoor patio that has this space where it just seems like it's very natural.
Yes.
Like you grab your drinks and you go outside and you can sit with a big group of people. And then you're going to see, people who show up that can join your table. And at the night you go to the pizza window and you can get a slice, for the walk home.
It's perfect.
I just really love it. I love a good bathroom full of stickers. Many of the abortion rights stickers I've contributed to the wall in there. I like to go in and be like, hey, that was me. Campaign year, whatever, that we put stickers
and
up
they leave them up there.
And they leave them up there.
And
you kind of know like that people are on your side because my abortion stickers are like never
are not the ones that are
never messed
over.
with. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So, I just really like it there. I feel comfortable. Like I said, it's just like one of those places that's very familiar and it checks off a lot of those lists. I enjoy a nice atmosphere and a bougie cocktail. But at the end of the day, I like to go somewhere where it's just, very much your community, very much your neighborhood.
You can just walk in the door. It doesn't matter what you've been doing or where you've been. You don't have to like get dressed up or be in a mindset to be, Yeah.
I love the bartenders too because it's just kind of that no nonsense. I like, you go in, what do you want? Know what you want, know what you get. And if I worked for many years in the bar industry and I still technically work at the Tix Club.
Yeah.
But, just kind of that unspoken, like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to not piss you off and how to order my drink, and you respect me for it. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I love 715 Club.
Good choice. Okay, so my bar that checks all the boxes. The boxes for me: booths, like dark booths. I want regulars at the bar. I want crazy ephemera and decor from years and years piled on top of each other, kind of like the stickers you were saying, Justine. Like, I want St. Patrick's Day banners and leftover stuff on the walls, and I want a jukebox that's playing random music, and also I just like a nice Shirley Temple. I'm a basic gal, and I would say it's Don's Mixed Drinks, which I learned is actually called Don's Club Tavern. We always called it Don's Mixed Drinks.
That's what the sign says.
Because that's what the sign says. But it's your quintessential neighborhood dive bar, and I absolutely love that about it. Never changed a thing. And it's just perfect the way that it is.
Yeah.
Also, bathroom, awesome. Good bathroom.
I also love that it has changed ownership. Like, it's owned by Little Plum Company now, but they didn't change it.
They didn't change a thing.
Which is so smart.
Oh, I can smell it. just thinking of it. I'm like, it sounds like.
Does need to have a little bit of old bar mats.
Has anyone actually ever purchased anything from the vending machine?
No.
Yeah,
oh
me
my
neither.
God. I've never even touched it. I would like to look at it now, though, that you're saying this and see if there's dust.
I also
on
love,
things.
have you seen the weird pizza guy with like the statue with like the face is half gone on the patio? You need to spend more time on the smoker's patio.
No, I know. I was like, I haven't smoked since 2006. So, although one of the last times I remember, barely remember being at Don's in that time in my life, and I unfortunately had a friend that peed under the table at Don's and we got kicked out. But luckily, that person doesn't live here anymore, so I can still go back there. It's not walkable for me, but you can tell when a bar is inhabited by the neighborhood when people are walking to it, and it's just perfect. It's quintessential Denver.
So many Don stories, either beginning or ending there.
I think that's also crucial for me too. Is like, have I built some memories here or some things I don't want to remember? Perfect. I love it. Well, this was such a great list, you guys. Molly, we're going to share a link to your list of 100 best bars because, like you said, this is a huge undertaking. You've categorized it differently, and it actually helped me. Like classics, you broke it down, like how long a bar has been around fits in this category. So it really helps folks navigate the kinds of bars that we have in the city and what makes them great. But I just wanted to tell you both thank you because as a non-drinker, I love bars. And this was a really fun conversation to have with two people that know these bars in this city really well.
Thanks. Yeah, this was really fun. Also, I think we unintentionally created a really cool 5 Points bar crawl.
We totally did.
So
Totally did.
someone out there should go
715
to all
Club,
of
Weldon
those.
Room, Marigold, Spangling. Hit them all up. Thank you. Thank you, Molly.
Thank you.
Justine.
Thank you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell our roving producer, Lizzie Goldsmith, happy birthday? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See ya. I'm making all these gestures with my fingernails that you can't see. These fingernails. These corn chip nails. Okay.